Well, I think we found a perfect match between having still a party touch on every track we do. So we have we always think it's really important to have also the girls in the crowd and the guys, because if you have only the guys, they want to jump all the time, but the girls want to dance. Sure. But without the girls, without the girls, there are no guys, right? So you have to find this balance between having this happy melody feeling and then there's still a heavy drop. So you have both worlds. And but yeah, we came from a harder sound back in the days, and you can still hear that in our production.
There's one thing though, we've made this more like banging tracks, like pretty hard electro kind of stuff. It's still, I think we've got our own sound actually. Like some people say you can really hear it's our music. And
yeah.
But we want to like keep evolving. So maybe within half a year it'll be like a progressive kind of track or more dubstep. You just want to do everything we feel like in the studio.
Well, we came from far. We came from like really like hard techno, you know, to the, like hard trance, hard dance, and now to this big room electro. But still, on every track we do, we have this Showtek signature. So even in the future, if we do a big vocal track, you will still hear it's us like doing the production.
And there should always be one element in a track that's new. Otherwise, it's the same thing, you know. Yeah. Even if it's a riff is like different or a little bit like.
I also think like a lot of people say that to us, like if you hear a Showtek track, there's always something you can like that like reminds you of something, like like da da da, or like that's a certain melody or vibe that you can sing along with or connect with. So that's work well. Yeah. Well, I think we're already on tour for the last 3 weeks, and the most important thing was the Miami Music Conference, WMC, which was amazing. We had like 9 shows in 4 or 5 days, so we lost our voice a little bit, but amazing tour and pretty hectic. We started in Seattle, Boston, we started in LA, Seattle, Boston.
Santa Ana.
Yeah, Santa Ana, Cali. And then a week of Miami, which was amazing. I think one of the highlights were Live, Miami.
And our pool party.
And our pool party, Clevelander. We had some friends like Bassjackers, Rehab, Jory Dash, Stevie Noise. So yeah, it was talk of the town the next day. It was amazing.
I think we got like 3 new singles finished already.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Some tryouts, so we're just gonna try them out. If they sound good or if the crowd really likes it, then we can adjust them a little bit when we're back in the studio in Holland within 2 weeks.
We have a few tunes that is like, we played it for the first time I think in Boston, and when the drop came in, the whole crowd was screaming. So,
but it's something else though, so we want to do something else after all the tunes we've been making the last year. We needed a small change as well, because we don't want to do the same trick every time over and over again. So
yeah, true.
It needs to be kind of an inspiration, even if it's like ultra. We hear new tracks and we see people reacting and responding like to it, like, oh, we should do something like this. But we never go to the studio without an idea, and it actually makes the working process a lot easier when you know where you're heading to when you're working on a track. Otherwise you just around, you know. So
you get lost sometimes.
Yeah, and you get lost and you don't know where you're heading to, and it's really important. Like, okay, let's make this kind of a track. So, like last track, Slow Down, we had the idea of making this like summery break, like the dun 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 dun, like with this like summer feeling, and the funny thing is with Slow Down, actually, it's already really old. It was one of the first tracks we made, like when we switched from our sound, and we call it Slow Down because we used to play like 10 or 15 BPMs faster than we did like 2 years ago. It's crazy, and
so we had an idea.
Yeah,
that's the whole.
Exactly. There's always an idea.
Yeah.
It's all fusing at the moment. There's not really like a real style anymore. You hear like trance melodies with electro drops and a hardstyle kick or something. You know, it's all fusing. But it's also great. I think it will just keep on going like this.
But it's also a fusion because of cultures fused, right? Like if you go on the street, like back in the days, you were like, oh, he's wearing this hip hop outfits, or he's like rock. But these days, like he can mix up everything. So that's the same with music. So if you go to a festival like EDC, you see like people from any culture showing up in there. So that means all the music that they love is going to be mixed up in DJ sets, right? Like that, so that's amazing. Yeah.
Mostly 2900 mixer, and we actually just got this new headphones, HDJ 2000s, and crazy, and they sound really fat, clear clean, and also they close really great on your eyes, over on the ears as well. So
your eyes.
Yeah, it's for you.
No, like
Prodigy. I love the Prodigy.
You were a hip hop freak. I liked hip hop as well, but he was like
a huge
hip hop
Wu-Tang and Tupac fan actually. Like I love.
You even had like Wu-Tang stars on your
Yeah, I know. But I just love RZA. He was the main guy behind Wu-Tang, all the productions, and his musical touch on those tracks were like not just the beat, but also the melodies and the riffs and the samples as well. Like it was amazing. I loved that kind of music.
But techno DJs like Marco Bailey, Dave Clark and stuff, they dropped some heavy.
And Marco V.
Marco V as well, Chesto.
Right. Yes, a lot of stuff.
A lot of very diverse. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're talking about this for like last year that we want to move over to the States for a few months. Okay. So, but not only to tour, also to do this.
But there's one problem though. We have like we have a live there and live here, and we have also a lot of music coming up. And we were talking about, should we do an album and make a huge America tour maybe? Because we have so many tracks and we don't know what to release. We have to choose for the best ones. We have to be really picky.
Well, but there's a certain vibe if we arrive on LAX. This feels like the second home, right? Like so every time we're here, like we have some friends as well here, and we have a great time. So we're thinking about like going on for like 4 or 5 months, and then just only like big shows, and then during the week we go to the studio.
The important thing is like we've got like how many promos a week? 100, 200?
Dude, it's like...
And a lot of them sound the same, and I think it's really important to do something completely different, which will shock people. Are like, wow, and once you play it, you're like, wow, this is something different, but people are always looking for the new thing, you know? So I think like if you're in your studio, you're talented and you're musical talented, like just try out some stuff. And the thing is only when you're like, we as DJs, we have some more like control over what you're playing, and you notice what works and what doesn't work on the floor. It's really hard when you're in a studio. A track can be so great, and when you play it, it's like people don't like it. So it's really hard to say what's the thing you should do, but I think follow your heart and just make whatever you feel like doing. Don't go with the stream, just find your own way in the stream. You know,
if you're gonna produce a track which is like similar like how it sounds now, then you're already too late, because in the next 4 months it's already changed a little bit. So you
and there's one thing that we always do still. Every time we mix a track, we have to compare it to another big track, even if it's like an old song of ours or some guys who like just sound really fat, because a track that sounds really fat is always already like a 6 or a 7.
It's funny because
10, you know?
when we were in South Korea, we met Dada Life guys, and we love how they sound because they have also their own sound. So we met them in South Korea and like, hey guys, oh, you sound amazing. Like, you know, we do always when we make a track, we always compare it to some of your tracks, and they're like, no way, because we do the same with your music. Like, okay, that's pretty.
That was
but that's how it goes sometimes. So it's funny. He loves to do a peacock because of his nose. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
That's not annoying.
It's not annoying like Jim Carrey does in the movie. Like, like a freaking annoying. Like, old lady. He does an old lady. Like very like. Yeah, like, yeah, that's so bad, like, hello, and it keeps on going for the whole night, like, it's so horrible.
I can't do it. No, we always do the peacock when we walk in the studio, like, like that, you know? That's the thing.